I recently found a quote shared by some random person on the internet, which I considered to be some unadulterated wisdom. So the quote goes, if I wouldn't invite someone into my house, I shouldn't let them into my head. But that's easier said than done, right? Have you ever lay in bed at night and recalled that time in 8th grade when you returned a wave only to realize that they were waving at someone else? Or that moment when you left your mic on during a Zoom meeting? Or maybe that moment when you accidentally sent a personal email to a colleague? Okay, so maybe you didn't have that exact same experience, but you know what I mean, right? Because if not, then you wouldn't be here. Honestly, I believe most of our mental health issues related to social situations like social anxiety, people pleasing, not being able to say no, not being able to set boundaries, indecisiveness, and lack of self esteem stem from the single fact that we worry too much about what others think of us. But before moving on, it's important to realize that it's completely natural for a human to care about what others think of us. We all care in one form or another about what others think of us and our choices in life. But there's a huge difference between caring and worrying about what others think of us. Humans are social creatures. That's why we care about what others think of us. We want to belong, to be accepted, and to bond with others of a social pack. If you care, it's more likely to mean that you respect their opinion and viewpoint and that you'll consider and review it, but still choose to go your own way. However, if you worry all the time, this takes it a whole lot further and can soon affect your decision making. You may become a people pleaser who listens to every opinion but your own, which in the long term can chip away at your self belief. Now, I'm not trying to imply that don't care about what others think of you at all, which is equally as harmful as much as caring too much about what others think of you. What I'm trying to imply is that there must be a balance, as this graph suggests. For the record, I found this graph on a website called conquersocialanxiety.com. So, we have heard people say, don't care about what others think of you and do whatever you want, which I think is sometimes misinterpreted by most of us. What it means is that we shouldn't let others' opinions of us hold us back, but that doesn't mean we have to neglect those opinions altogether. There must be a balance between trusting yourself and trusting others. But what's also true is that most of us are guilty of worrying too much about what others think of us, neglecting our own opinions. Studies show that we consistently overestimate how much and how badly others think about our failures, which means most of them don't remember that moment you left your mic on or most of your silly embarrassing moments that you think people still talk about. Most of us are carried away by our day to day activities, and we don't even have enough time to think about ourselves, let alone think about a time when you accidentally waved your hand to someone else in your 8th grade. So, as much as we think everybody remembers, no, they don't. They don't think about you as much as you think they do. Unfortunately, you're not the main character in their life, which is kind of relieving because, hey, nobody gives a think about what color dress you wore to that party 4 years back, and you should probably stop caring too. Most of us don't really have mind reading skills or anything. So when we think about or merely guess about others' judgments and opinions of us, what we do is actually judge ourselves. So when you think others are judging you, it's actually you judging yourself. As Lao Tzu once wrote in his book Tao Te Ching, care about people's approval and you will be the prisoner. But what is important to realize is that the prison of others' approval is actually only built by our own selves, maintained by us, and guarded by us. So, if you ever feel like you are stuck in the prison of shame and judgment, remember that you hold the key to that prison, key to your own freedom. So, the next time you catch yourself thinking about what others might think of you, remember what you think other people think of you is what you actually think of yourself. So, ask yourself who you actually are. Who were you yesterday? Who are you today? And who would you like to be tomorrow?